Good morning and welcome to BBC One, where Kilroy's asking whether you can ever be too old to fall in love in a sec. And at 10, Gabby's joined by the lovely Philip Schofield in City Hospital. So still those beating hearts, sit back, relax and stay with us right through until lunch.
It's a super Saturday night on BBC One and Jim's going all the way on the Generation Game.
So sweet.
In a special edition of This Is Your Life at 6:45, life in the square may never be the same.
Good luck, mate. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
At 7:15, Lulu presents the all-new Red Alert with the National Lottery, including special guest star Sir Paul McCartney. And with an explosive episode of Casualty kicking in at 8:05. It's a super Saturday night on BBC One.
Love is always in the air on BBC One now with Kilroy.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello and good morning. Now, this morning, you woke up, didn't you? And you thought to yourself, some of you, gosh, I'm in my 40s, 50s perhaps, and all my friends have got boyfriends, husbands, partners, and yet here I am on my own. And you ask yourself, is there something wrong with me? Or is it just that Mr. Right is still waiting to come by? And of course, what you're hoping is that it's never too late to find love. Which is really, I suppose, Tricia, what you're hoping, isn't it? Are you having problems?
Well, I've been on my own 15 years now. We've been to my partner in crime.
Partner in crime?
Yeah.
That's Anne, is it?
Yes, Anne. We've been to singles clubs. Asda's singles night. I walked around with a rose to give to a man, but they all went for the dolly bird, so I went home.
Did you take the rose back with you?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah. I wouldn't want you to waste it.
Oh, no, I took it back with me. That's all I had that night. We've been everywhere. I did answer an ad once, but I met a very strange man in that advert, and I would never do it again.
Why was he a strange man?
He was a QC. Well, I answered the ad. He said, fun-loving gent would like to meet a refined lady. So I answered it, and I gave my phone number, and he rang me, arranged to meet. He said, we'll carry a rose. And I've got a weird sense of humour, so I took a rose bush. So anyway. So I met him, he was very nice. You may know him.
You thought he was weird? No. I mean, if you saw him... Listen here, sweetheart. If I was out on a blind date with you and I saw you walking down with a rose bush, I'd run away. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Well, of course you would. So, you think you've got a right nutter here.
Oh, yes, I am. But we went out, we had a lovely meal and a drink. He was very charming.
Hang on, where did you put the rose bush?
Oh, I left it in the curb.
Oh, right,
it was only for a joke.
Charming meal.
Yeah. And he was very, very nice, well-educated, very intelligent. And he said, would you like to come back for a nightcap? And I thought,
coffee.
Coffee. So I thought, yeah, go on then. So we went, very exclusive.
Oh, you didn't need much persuading?
No.
No.
Oh, a cup of coffee and a brandy, you know. So we went into his apartment, a very exclusive apartment, and we had a drink and a chat and a kiss. And he said, in a little while, he said, do you mind if I change into something more comfortable? So I said, fine. I thought, well, he's either going to come out starkers and jump on me, or he'll put a smoking jacket on. So I'm sat there. I was not expecting him to come out in a silk, pink, baby doll negligee. I thought, well, what do I do? And I thought, well, hang on, you're going to get attacked, you. So I just said, oh, can I touch the nightie to see if it was expensive? It's pure silk. And I thought, well, if he didn't have something protruding, I'd have thought I'd been out with a woman all night. And I asked him, did he have a problem? Did you want to talk to me about it? I was very understanding. And he got quite aggressive with me, actually. Very aggressive. He thought it was quite normal if he wanted to make love to a woman and he was wearing the nightie.
So, are you still looking for a man?
Well, not the worst pink nightie.
But you say you've been 15 years.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
But seriously, you are, aren't you? And you're getting to the point where you feel that you might never find... What kind of a man do you want?
One with a sense of humour. A nice...
Well, you've got a sense of humour. What kind of... seriously, what kind of... You never know, you might get one writing in. What kind of a man do you want? What are you looking for?
A nice, caring man, about my age. I've had enough.
How old are you?
46 nearly.
Right, yeah. And you've had enough what?
Toy boys. We only get asked out by young boys. We don't get... Men don't ask us
So you
out.
want somebody to live with? You want somebody to be a companion, a friend, a lover, all that?
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
that?
I don't want to be on my own till I'm older.
And how kind of...
It's hard, though.
It is hard. Why is it hard?
Well, we go to the singles clubs, and we're in our 40s.
Finished.
And I mean, nothing against the young women, no problem. But most of the men, they let the young women come in, the men go after the young women. We don't stand a chance.
But that's not always the case. I mean, I've been in a similar situation from the other side, where you go into these places and you feel intimidated by everybody that's there, and you feel tense and you're a bit desperate, and you give off vibes about this sort of thing. So all of a sudden, if you suddenly chill out, start to relax. If you meet somebody one week, great. If you don't, go back the next week. It's as simple as that.
You're too desperate, you say.
No,
You're giving off the wrong vibe.
You do pick up that sort of situation.
Because I get asked out every week, but they're by young boys, not men.
Have you tried to have... But the older...
After my experience, no, thank you.
but the older fellas pick up things differently to the young lads. The young lads have gone there for a good night out, which is something different. Yeah. The older fellas can see and feel, and I'm sure it's the same for the women as well.
The older fellas go after the
pick up
the young ones as well, though. The older fellas don't like the bigger women.
But they've not gone there looking for a relationship, though, have they?
The younger fellas?
No, they've gone for a night out or whatever.
Well, the older ones go just for one night stand too. Yeah.
But you're looking for somebody to be a partner.
Oh,
Why don't you ask them to dance?
I don't want a one night stand. I want someone I can share my life with.
And how long have you been looking at?
12 years.
And when you say looking, what do we mean by when you're looking? How actively are you looking for somebody? What do you go? You don't go around Asda with a rose, do you?
No, I haven't been to Asda with a rose as yet.
Yeah, but how do you look? Where do you go?
Well, I have joined dating agencies.
Yeah.
And I answered an advert in the local paper, but mine didn't have such disastrous consequences as Trisha's did.
Yeah, but what else do you do? Do you go out regularly?
I go out regularly.
What kind of places do you go to?
Well, I go out to singles clubs, I go to theatres, I'm a member...
When you say you go to theatres, you don't go on your own, you presumably go with a group of people.
I go with a group, but I'm a member of a society in the theatre. I go to the social evenings on my own.
Yeah, and at those places, presumably you are meeting men of your age or similar?
Not many in the theatre society, because mostly they are couples and there aren't many men on their own there.
So where do you meet the men that are on their own?
Well, usually in singles clubs.
In the singles clubs?
Yeah.
And what's the problem with the men in the singles clubs then? What are you laughing for, Mrs. Knighty?
Well, they go for... There are some genuine men there, but they go for the... Well, not the dolly bird, but a younger person who is slim, attractive, with long legs, and who's quite well endowed on top.
Oh, that sounds pretty kind of fulsome. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for someone with a good sense of humour, who is genuine, who I can share my life with.
Are you being too fussy, do you think?
No, I don't think I'm being too fussy at all.
There's no element where you're looking for somebody that doesn't exist?
No, not at all.
Do you think there's a part of this, David, that the women are actually looking for, they're too choosy, they're too fussy, their standards are too high? Is that part of the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
I mean, you go out with some people. I mean, I went out with one, and because I turned up in a Peugeot 306, she looked at my car and says, well, I drive a BMW, I don't think you're in my class.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I've had that one chucked at me, and I went out with a lady for quite a while, off and on. Well, we were off and on for 15 months. And she started nitpicking. I admit, I put my hand up in air and say, I am not very good at ironing.
She said.
I'm not very good at ironing.
Right, yeah.
And instead of saying to me, you know, when you've... Because we were seeing each other.
What do you call nitpicking?
Well, I'll explain to you that it hasn't been ironed creased properly, like you do, I suppose you were doing army.
What hasn't? Your
Well,
shirt?
I've ironed this.
Well, she said that to you? What, your shirt hadn't been ironed properly?
Yeah.
But all women
right.
do that. All women do
Yeah,
that.
but I take it personal.
Do they? All women do
That's
that.
ridiculous. Every
And
day
then-
When you meet a woman for the first time and you're always on your best behaviour and that, and OK, so if you form an attraction, the first thing that happens is they try and change you.
Oh.
No, they don't.
Oh, they do. Oh, yes, they do. Well, this one did.
But you say...
We don't.
But we were having...
don't.
She was saying...
Men try and change us. Could be the
same.
It's what
Went
their
out-
ex-wives were.
Go on, David.
Went out for a meal.
Go on, David.
And she watched, and I mean everything, unbeknown to me what I was doing. Didn't put my knife and fork together at the end of the meal properly. Didn't eat with my mouth closed. So one day, she invited...
You didn't pick your nose as well, did you?
One day, two daughters came round with their partners. And I thought, right, it's game, set and match. I helped cook the barbecue and that, and getting I'm doing that, and we all had a meal, and I sat and watched them, and they were all talking at the table, and at the end of the meal, there was only me out of the six of us put his knife and fork together.
You spend your time, you've got to get a life. You shouldn't be watching who put their knife and fork together. Oh, my goodness me. He says you're too fussy, you women. He says you're too fussy, you're too choosy, or you're too finicky.
She goes...
David, sorry.
Let's list the 7 faults with me.
Pardon? No, hang on.
She goes to 7 faults.
7 faults?
And I've described 2 of them so far.
It's like the 7 wonders of the world, this. What are your 7 faults?
Oh, the main one was I work away from home.
Right.
And I'm sick of hearing about that.
Somebody working away from home.
Too fussy.
I disagree completely. I think that at the end of the day, you know, some of us are lovely English roses, and we're looking for a partner who's basically reliable and sincere. And I mean sincere, you know, quite emphatically, because a lot of people are not sincere. They have very much, you know, they're very sort of indifferent to partners. And I've been a member of dating clubs. I've belonged to a dining club. I've been to singles-type discos where a lot of people there are not single at all.
Yeah.
You ask for their phone number.
They spoil it for people that are single, don't they?
You ask for their phone number, they say they live with their elderly mother and she might fall down the stairs if you try to ring the phone.
Do you live with your elderly mother?
No.
You don't. He doesn't live with his elderly mother.
And, you know, they soon, you know, scarper the minute they realise that you don't believe what they're saying and that they're basically dishonest. But people do also try to
be honest and genuine. You know what I mean? It's no good saying I drive a blinking BMW and I work in a big office block. I admit I work away from home. What's wrong with that?
That's right, but in your case, you were that way when the lady met you, so she should have accepted you.
I feel like it's wrong to be working for a start.
But you've got to that point where you've given up on English women, haven't you? British women.
I've started looking...
Oh, he's coming down to Cardiff.
No, he's not. He's not. He's gone to Russia.
I'm not far from...
You've got a Russian...
I've wrote off to some in paper in Russia,
Because you're giving up on English women? Because they're too picky?
Yeah, I don't want to be on my own. I'm like that lady said over there. I want to share my life.
That you, as you get a bit older, what you want when you're 20 and what the sort of person that you want when you're 40 are 2 different sort of types of people. Because I think you want somebody who's motivated and got something more about them, really. Doesn't want to spend all the time in the pub just drinking or something.
Oh, so you're more choosy now?
Oh, yeah, I suppose I am, really, yeah.
So you're conscious that your aspirations are different?
Yes, definitely.
So what are you looking for?
Somebody who's got similar hobbies to myself.
Which is?
Knitting.
I used to do a lot of horse riding.
Hang on, what you knit, do you?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, there you go on.
I just like water sports a lot, swimming, and I used to do a lot of scuba diving, so I'd like to do that. You know, somebody with, who is, as I say, sporty, really, likes eating out in the evening and at different restaurants and stuff.
Look at her face kind of beams when she says it. You were really kind of vehement when David was saying that women are too choosy, too picky. Is she being too choosy? Is she being too picky?
Yeah, Robert, I actually think that women are too choosy.
Why? In what way?
Well, that they have this attitude that we all have to be perfect, and we're not perfect. None of us are perfect.
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
I think we're all realistic, but we just want to find somebody that has
nobody wants second best.
a genuine intent for a long-term relationship.
But when you go to singles clubs, aren't you giving up on the female race?
Why?
Well,
where else can we
I've never
go?
been to a singles club.
Where else can we go?
You can come to my house.
We're too old to go to the...
Welsh, but, you know...
We're too old to go to the clubs where all the teenagers go. I mean, they say, get home, Granny, but in the
Some of us like dancing and getting ourselves out. It builds your confidence up to actually make the effort and go out if you've broken up from a relationship.
And you've lots of friends, both sexes as well.
I've never been to a singles club yet, but
Patrick.
I always get the feeling that it's a bit like, you know, it'd be like going to a cattle market. Or, I don't know why. As I say, I've never been to one, but it's like
probably
you're going shopping for something particular, you know. That's what puts me off.
But then that's the same reason people would join an agency, isn't it? It's the same thing. Basically, you're making it clear that you're looking for somebody.
You know, it's like I'm purposely going out shopping. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with going out shopping?
What do you do when you're a teenager? You go shopping for a girlfriend.
I go out shopping for clothes, I go out shopping for food, I don't go out shopping for a partner.
And when you're 18 and 19, you go shopping in the discos for a young girl or a boyfriend.
But that's the whole point, I'm not 18 or 19 or
just because we're
How old are you?
We should still be able to shop around.
Yeah.
Or we should have the places to go to shop around.
But do you need to make it that obvious? I think is the easiest.
Hang on.
Acting like 20-year-olds.
Sorry?
The problem is you're doing at 40 and 50 what you were doing at 20.
How do you know?
Because I did it for a couple of years.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
What do you do?
I went to some...
All her friends are getting embarrassed now because they don't know what she's going to say. They're all looking round you. Didn't you? You got all kind of panicky. They thought, what's she going to say now?
I went to some singles clubs.
Yeah,
Didn't meet anybody.
Patrick said it's a cattle market.
Yes, because you're there to meet people and you're acting like a 20-year-old and you're not 20 years old anymore.
I'm going out to find somebody to chat up.
When he's finished. Yeah, go on.
You know, I'm going out to find somebody to chat up. You did that. Well, I did that when I was 18.
You're acting like a
I went out to a
teenager
disco
again,
to
and
find
you're not a
somebody to chat up.
teenager anymore. And this is the difficulty.
I'm on my own. Say Anne can't come out, she's got children. I can't walk into a pub on my own. No. There's no way, I'm not, right? But I can walk into the singles dance on my own because I know there are lots of people on their own. It gives me confidence to go in and meet the ladies that I've got to know there. I can go on my own. I'm not acting like a 20-year-old. When I was 20, I was a very energetic 20-year-old. I've calmed down, but I don't want to stay home and knit. I do that a few nights a week.
I quite agree.
But I can only go to singles clubs. It's the only place we can go.
But it's safe.
Right. Yes, it is.
No, that's what she's saying.
Yes.
So what's she supposed to do? Because saying she's 20-year-old is like a criticism. And she's taking this as a criticism, obviously.
I'm not saying it as a criticism, but you're doing things like a 20-year-old looking for another partner.
Well, she's looking.
If you're going
she's looking.
Yes, but if you're going to find friendship, it's a different thing up here.
Oh, you've got to have a different mentality.
It's a different mentality.
I don't want to look it. We go out. I can go down the supermarket. We go out. I've got enough men to go out with.
Hang on, please.
I got enough men to go out with, and they probably watch a programme and kill me because they all think they're the only one. But they're all young. They're all under 30. Which is great for some things.
Are you being too fussy, you lot?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Well, you're fussy.
I am fussy, and I'm pleased I'm fussy because you're a product of your experiences. Getting involved with people, having a relationship with them, they're not really quite right, and then you break up with them. It's very disruptive and hurtful, and I think that to start with, you should know what qualities you need in a person to complement yourself, and not just go out with any Tom, Dick or Harry because you're lonely. You've got to have the right reasons
And that's not being too fussy, that's
I think as you're older, when I look at my own life, I think when I was younger, I was very altruistic and thought that love conquered all. And, you know, if you fell in love with somebody, then that was the end of the story. And my mother always used to say to me, it's very important to get somebody that's capable of supporting you if anything happens to you.
Is she too fussy, your mum?
Yeah, damn right.
In what way?
She's always, like, her expectations are too high.
Why are they too high?
Because, like, I don't think there's anybody out there who is perfect. I mean, nobody's perfect, are they?
I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not looking for perfection. Not at all.
She has a few men come round now and then. Shh. They're all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're all right.
Yeah.
He gets on.
So they get your stamp of
I get on
approval.
really well.
Yeah.
I just leave them in the sitting room with him. He entertains them.
Denise?
I agree with what she's saying. I know what she's saying.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. When you're young, you go through all that in life and all the badness, but as you get older, now I'm 40, it's not that I'm too fussy, I'm not fussy at all, but now
What do you mean, you're not fussy at all? What do you mean you're not fussy at all?
Kilroy, man, I'm not fussy.
What?
I know what I want now. You know...
Well, that means you're fussy.
Playboy.
She's what?
She's a playboy.
No, I don't
Playboy?
know.
She's so
Toy boy or a
fussy.
playboy? Oh, a playboy. She wants a playboy.
No, when I was younger, like that lady says, it is disruptive, you go through relationships and that. But now, I just want someone genuine, caring, to spend my life with.
And how do you find that genuine, caring person?
Kilroy, man, I don't know, man. I've been trying now for 20 years.
You've been trying for
12 years, 15 years, 20 years.
But hang on, you're 40.
40.
You've been trying for 20 years?
Yes.
You've got 4 kids?
Yes, but I'm still not married.
But you must have had somebody to have the 4 kids in those 20 years.
Yes, I had somebody.
Unless you had them all before you were 20.
No, I didn't. I had 2 before I was 20.
Yeah.
I had 2 before I was 20. But that was just, you think you're in love, you think this is it.
Yeah.
And then the men have just, I chose the wrong ones, but I've tried now to
How many of you had that were wrong?
How many men?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
What?
Well, I haven't found a good one yet.
Is she...
You've been dating for about 3 years now, have you?
She hasn't had a date for about 3 years.
I've never had a Valentine card. I've never had roses brought, flowers brought me. I've never been out for dinner with a man.
Really?
Honest to God. And I'm 40. And that's what I want. I want that now. I want to be wined and dined. Tell me about it.
What are you saying to her,
No
Judith?
one's bought you a rose or a box of chocolates or nothing. I can't believe that.
It's true.
You're a beautiful girl. You're so gorgeous. You deserve much better.
What does she do?
He treats you rotten.
But what does she do then? What's she supposed to do, Judy?
Well, she's just gorgeous. I mean,
we know that. We can see her. But what's she supposed to do?
What do I do? To get a sincere
Well, I tell you
guy.
something.
I want someone to...
Can I explain something to you?
I want someone who's going to
Please,
love
can I
me.
explain something to you? When you stand at a bus stop, the first thing you do is you say to somebody, how long have you been standing there? How long has the bus been gone? Right? That's one way of meeting people. The next way of meeting people is getting on a bus or a train and saying, oh, yes, I had a nice day today. Did you? I've met, actually, my 2 husbands who are both dead. I met them both. I met them both on a train. The first one I met going up to Crewe, the second one I met going from Crewe down to London.
So the train to Crewe and the back is a good place. Go on a train. Get on a train. It's looking for, this is looking for Mr. Goodbar, this is, isn't it?
Whether it's raining or sunshine, everybody starts to talk about, has a bus come? What number do you want? I'm lost. Which way do I go? Somebody will talk to you at a bus stop. I tell you, without fail.
How long have you been looking for a man?
I'm not looking for a man. I've had 2 beautiful husbands who both died on me.
So you get what you've given up on then?
Well, no, I mean, if it came along, I'd say yes. And somebody said to me the other day, oh, never mind, Judith, 3rd time lucky. I said, look, what do I do to my men? I meet them fit and well, and they both will die on me. I said,
well, that's really kind of reassuring now, isn't it? I mean, that's just what we wanted to hear. Here we are, we're trying to counsel our Denise. David, can you counsel Denise?
I don't know, but the lady there, the next to her, I've done...
That's her daughter!
Sorry.
See?
Daughter?
Daughter!
No, but you're the middle. We're in the middle.
We're in the middle.
You said gorgeous. You are gorgeous. I'm not going for anything that.
You can.
Would
you like to take her for...
I've done the thing where what she said.
Just a minute. Would you like to take her for dinner? Because she's never would. You would like to take... Would you like to go out for dinner with my David? Right? She's got a Russian girlfriend.
I ain't got a Russian girlfriend.
Oh, you haven't got a Russian girlfriend?
I've only wrote letters at the moment.
Oh, you just got waiting for the replies from the letters. You're not interested?
Sorry?
You're not interested in having dinner with David?
I'll come see you. I'll have dinner.
You will? Tell you what, I'm serious. I don't want to force anything here. I don't want you to be polite. Because we're all honest here. If you don't fancy David, you say...
I can't believe that the women have treated you like that, because I would never dream of treating anybody like that.
You know what you've just said? I bought roses for people. I've left a rose on somebody's door.
I'd love that.
We'll get his shirt ironed for you. And if we get his shirt ironed, we'll teach you... I tell you what, we'll iron his shirt.
I've got more shirts than this one.
We'll iron his shirt. We'll tell him how to put his knife and fork.
I'm not putting to bed.
We'll stitch up his lips so he eats with his mouth, and we'll tell him not to pick his nose. And seriously, listen, if you want a date with him, if you're prepared to go along, I'll pay for you, we'll pay for you. To go to the Dorchester? She's a good lass from Birmingham. We're going to pay for you, my love, to go to the Dorchester with my friend with his iron shirt. Iron himself. Richard. These women are saying they're all fussy, they've all got particular standards, they all want this, they're all... Are women, in your experience, choosy?
Yeah, I mean, so I can understand what they're saying there. I mean, saying I don't want this to come across wrong. I've never had a problem. I don't have no real problem in attracting women. Right? Now, yeah, this could come across right.
You're a nice-looking chap.
No, but what...
No, let him finish. He's obviously getting to something difficult here. And I know what it is. So don't you bubble out on me. Because I know what you're going to say.
What I actually find is that I find that women are more interested in me sexually than anything else. I find that women are I find them too aggressive, you know. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for what you're looking for. No, with all seriousness. Geezer's always saying that. You know, you're in a pub and you're giving it the big one. You know, that's how
you're bragging.
No.
He said he's saying you use him as a sex object.
I wouldn't.
No, what I'm
not straight away anyway. But, you
You see? There they go. There they are.
No.
You've just proved his point.
No, that was joking.
No, what I'm saying is...
serious, though, wasn't it?
I'm looking for something...
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, all right, then.
I'm looking for something genuine, yeah?
Oh, you're too young for her? You're too young for you?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm 41.
You really?
Yeah, exactly.
He's looking for
something. There you are, judging me straight.
I'm sorry, darling. I really thought you were in your early 30s.
No, I'm 41 myself.
And he's looking for somebody.
Well, I'll
and
take
he wants
you out. I won't jump on you for sex.
He's seriously looking at you, nice man.
I wouldn't.
No, I'm serious. He's seriously looking. His problem is...
Men are looking for one-night stands.
No,
that's right.
I don't agree with that. I mean, so that's just stereotyping.
One-night stands, so they want to move in and take your house off you.
That's nonsense. I mean, ever since I've been sitting here, I've heard this, we're all looking for younger women, all the guys. I'm not. I mean, my wife was 18 years older than I was, and we were together for 24 years, you know.
Yeah, that's great. I'm not knocking it.
That's a long time.
But there are two men, they're saying, he's saying, he didn't use the words, but he meant it, that women treat him as if he just wants a one-night stand, whereas in fact, he actually wants somebody to love. He's looking for the same thing you are. Yeah. He's looking for somebody to love.
We've all got the wrong opinion of each other. It's all
What
do you say, Rhoda?
I think he's in the minority. I think it's the other way around, really. That
are you in the minority?
Are you in the minority? Most men don't want love as well.
Rhoda, tell her. She says you're all looking for sex, you men.
No, we are not. I've a very good luck. In fact, I've heard all your stories now, and I've got a good luck story. I didn't know what to do, so I went to an agency. I've never been to one in my life. I'm on my own. I got fed up, you know. So they gave me about a week after, they phoned me, gave me a phone number and a name. I contacted the lady. I took her some roses, a box of chocolates. I never met her before in my life, but I thought, well, this is the way to do it. I was a nervous wreck, you know. I was like that. And I went to the doorbell, and when I rang it, I jumped, you know, with the sound of it. I thought, what am I going to say? The door opened, this is true, the sun was shining, and there was a princess standing there. Oh, she was marvellous. I couldn't believe it. You know, beautiful hair, nice figure, tall, absolutely gorgeous. I didn't know what to say, you know. I said, I bet in my mind, I thought, she'll be the sister, the other one will be insane. And to cut a long story short, the result is that I took her back to my place eventually for dinner. I laid it all out in silver, candles, chocolates and roses again on the table, you know. And then I got a good video. Romantic. I got it all worked out. Soft lights, you know, and all that sort of thing. And we sat on the settee and we watched the video and everything. And then I took her to an Italian restaurant. I knew about this, I'm crafty, you see. I did my homework. I said, do you like Italian food, my love? You know, so she said yes. I said, I've got the very place for you. And when I got there were candles on the table, soft music with a piano playing, you know, a nice corner seat to sit in, and I just sat there like opposite her like that. I don't remember what I had to eat. All I remember was that I fell in love with her. And that was my, shall I say, my third visit. I fell in love with her, just like that, all through an agency. The result is that we are both going together now. We meet twice a week, and every time I meet her, I take her roses, or flowers, or chocolates. I never miss. Twice a week, I'll do that, or sometimes a bottle of wine. And then I have cards. You know, they give you a card with this thing here. And so I write things on cards. Now, I've never written poetry in my life, you know. I haven't got a clue about poetry. But
he's going to read his poem to us. He is.
This is the type. This is the type of thing I write on the cards. And I make them up. I don't know how.
How old is this woman? How old is she before you start?
Well, so I won't give her age. No.
Oh, all right then. No, okay. No.
You know,
what's her name?
Retired,
what's her name?
And she's working.
What's her name? What's her name?
No.
Is she married?
No, she's not married. She's lovely, she's gorgeous. And this is what I write.
Is she the same age as you?
Yeah, more or less. Well, I'm a bit older. No, I'm older, actually.
What's your name?
Desmond. Desmond. Now, this is what I write on that. I make them up. I don't know where they come from.
Come on, Desmond.
All right. As each morning breaks, I wake with the thought of you and wait for the coming hours so I can be with you. A little sunshine in my heart, that's what you mean to me. With loving care, I do declare, that's all I need of thee. My love for you, I hope it lasts, and like the flowers that die, I hope it lasts and lasts and lasts, and never will fade and die.
He's lovely. Yes, he is, Judy, isn't he? You're quite taken with our Desmond, aren't you, Judy? Look at her eyes, you can tell. You can tell. Go on, Judy. Go on. What are you going to say?
Men who are like you, soft-hearted, sweet-natured, and you can write poetry. I think that's magic.
Do you want to go to the Dorchester with him as well?
Yes, please.
Really? Well, I'll tell you, can we stretch to two couples? Can we? I'm looking at Mr. Moneybags up there who kind of does that. We can stretch to two. Of course we can. You don't have to put your thumb up to me. We're going to do it anyway, aren't we? OK, that's another couple. Judy, you'd like that too?
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
We're going to have you. Anybody else? They are cheapskates here. They're just doing it to get the free lunch or the free tea. Who do you want to go with them?
I wondered if that gentleman might like to come along with me.
Jeff. Is it Jeff?
I don't know. I think so.
Hey, this is great, eh?
My girlfriend.
Hang on, Ellie. This one, she's after this. What did you say?
My
Who did you
girlfriend will
say?
be watching this.
Oh, right, you don't want to go off with
That
Cherie?
is a very, very nice lady.
But you're saying no?
I have a very nice girlfriend.
You're saying
Thank
very
you.
no politely, like very nicely. Any offers? Anybody else want a date? I feel like a pimp here.
Can you fix me up with a rich widow?
Yes, Colin? What? Rich widow of about 80? No? Get off! There's this allegation. Yes, what do you want, Thelma? Hang on, she's got somebody in mind. This is terrible. Go on, what are you doing? Hang on. No, I can't, Judy. I'm spoken for. Hang on. This woman's looking around the audience. Look at her. What, you're looking for somebody?
Yeah.
How old are you?
44.
And how long have you been looking?
About 6 months.
And what's your problem? No, seriously.
I haven't got a problem.
No, I mean, why can't you find somebody, or why haven't you been able to find somebody?
I just haven't found anybody I particularly want.
Right, but you're looking around the audience now. Have you fixed on somebody then? Look at this. Some people have got a nerve, haven't they? Oh, my friend up there. I don't know his name, but would you like a date too? Or, no, don't you? You got to be. We all can be polite, but we can actually be serious. We're all adults. If you say, no, I'm very sorry, you can be just like Jeff was, quite straightforward. Yes?
Quite happily.
Very good. That's three. I don't know where we're going to get the money from. Well, we're having a conversation here, as you realise, just in case you've just come in from dropping the kids off at school, about the women and the men in the 40s and the 50s who are having problems finding somebody to love. Not for an evening or for a bit of rep, they're looking for a companion for the future, a friend, a lover, and all the rest of it. And part of the trouble is that the women of 40, 50 and the men of 40, 50 apparently are looking for different things, so we're told. One of the allegations constantly put, Gary, by the women here is that the men of their age are looking for younger women, for the dolly birds, Tricia said. Is that right?
Well,
is that right, Gary?
No, I wouldn't say that.
I thought you liked younger women, Gary. You're bottling out on me, are you?
No.
He is petrified.
I'm actually, Robert, I'm 47. And I'm 47, but I don't feel anything like 47. Yeah, I am looking for somebody younger. Somebody between 35 and 45.
Why?
Because, well, basically, they're more on my wavelength, you know what I mean?
They play with building blocks.
Yeah. And it's...
Are you an immature man at 47? I mean, because for why?
Basically,
people like myself,
yeah.
you know, what chance do we stand? I don't say it's wrong that you wouldn't like a young lady on your arm, a good-looking young lady on your arm, but what is it you get from that? What is it she's giving you? Is it because you're immature, you're frightened of getting old? Is it?
Probably.
You know?
Probably, yeah.
Because I can show you a good
frightened of getting old, yeah.
I'm not young, I can't compete with an 18-year-old, but I was young, because I don't feel the age I am.
I don't feel middle-aged.
No, I don't.
I am middle-aged, but I don't feel it.
I am, but I don't feel it.
Isn't it partly an ego trip if you've got a younger...
No, it's not an ego
younger
trip
girl.
at all.
Oh.
What's the difference?
My last two partners,
Hang on, Judy, go on. What are you saying to him? What are you saying to Gary?
Please be honest, it's got to be a big part of it. I mean, my father here has got a much younger girlfriend, and I know very well that an awful lot of it is to do with, it is a real ego boost to go out and have somebody...
Yeah, but I'm not looking for somebody at 25 or 28 or 30.
Let her finish, Gary, let her finish.
Maybe it says that, I don't know, if it says he's more virile or something, but it is... Surely anybody going out with somebody... 65. Can I say that?
No, you can't. You can take that back. And Dad, and I love that. Dad says it's an ego trip, and Dad, well, you better tell him how old your girlfriend is.
Well, she's my fiancée. She's 22.
Oh, good on you.
And she's met my daughter. My daughter's happy with her.
But again,
but it is. I feel great walking down the road with her.
Oh yeah.
And I've already had comments.
but where does that leave people like myself? I don't feel my age. I don't really want a toy boy, though, because I will only see my son in a young man. And I think also the experience I have and what I know about life, I could only get from somebody of much my same age. A little bit older, a little bit younger.
I think
but what do you actually getting from the young lady? Is it that you're in love? Well, no, I mean the obvious. I mean, no.
What did she say? She said, "What are you getting from a young woman?"
I haven't. No. Big, you know.
To be honest, I've had 3 wives. My daughter is from my first wife. All my wives have slowly got younger.
In a way, you're frightened of getting old and dying, or you know,
I'm
what
not
is?
frightened of getting old and dying, but I'm going to enjoy myself before I do. That's the main thing.
And good luck to you. I mean, I really do mean that.
I mean, with my present fiancée, I didn't go out looking for a younger girl. I was on holiday when I met her.
Yes, but you see, it's one of the things. I mean, I've done this on the telephone where you do dating and you pick up the phone, and one of the first things they say is, "How old are you?" And you give your age, and they say, "Oh, well, I'm really actually looking for the younger person." And they don't even know me. Yeah. They don't know me. I could be 4, 5, 10, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. Well, they don't know from a phone call, but as soon as you actually did give your age,
Age isn't everything.
He says he doesn't want a woman your age because he wants a woman on the same wavelength. He's actually your same age, I know, because I know what your age is.
He's
and what
47.
Yeah.
I'm 53.
Well, you're the same age. Just
I've got a very young outlook on life. Very, very young. My children keep me young. If I want a younger man of, say, 46, 47, and the gentleman over there wants a younger woman, then I've no chance with someone like that. But I've been out with an older man, and that was fine. We had a good relationship for 5 years, but unfortunately it fell apart. But I only want a younger man. I don't mean a 30-something. A 40-something will do me. I'm quite happy with that.
So he's a younger man?
But it's on... No, it's on your wavelength. If you're on the same wavelength,
but that's what he said.
work.
So what you're saying, you're on his wavelength. He wants a younger...
I don't know him very well, but if he wants a younger-minded person, then maybe... What did you say?
He said we'll go to the Dorchester.
Right, you're on.
And her sister's coming with us. And do you know what he said, Jess? Sister's married. This is sister.
Sister's married.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we just pack up now and go? We might as well go. Right, can we all go Dutch, though?
No. Can I just say something else?
Yes, you can.
I'm trying to survive, Robert.
The lady on the end with the white scarf said earlier, in reply to this gentleman here about the cattle market singles clubs, right? I joined a singles club in 1985, having then been on my own for 5 years. And I joined not to find a partner or a mate, but to socialise with people who were in the same boat as me. That is why I joined a singles club. It was the National Council for the Divorced and Separated. I've been a member now for 14 years. I've been on my own for 19 years. I've made a lot of friends. So the reason that people go to singles clubs isn't to see it as a cattle market. For me, it was to see it as a lot of people who were in the same boat as me, and to make friends.
That's the reason why you went, but that's not necessarily the reason why
that is
the
right. A lot
majority
of people don't go with that in mind.
That's the reason why the majority. But you're saying, that might be, that's not your motivation. But what she was saying, I think it was somebody. Oh, it was Patrick. Yeah, saying, but that is how it ends up.
That is.
That's what it looks like, and people are shopping. There's the word shopping was used, wasn't it?
If you go in the club, the ones I went to, they did a lot of ballroom and sequence dancing, and through the evening, and 90% of the members are women, by the way. You find that a lot. Wherever you go, 90% of the people in any singles club are women.
You're 53. And you've been on your own 19 years, did you say? Yeah. And you've not had a long, serious relationship?
I've had 2 5-year relationships in that time.
Period.
Yeah.
So how long has it been since you've been on your own?
Nearly 2 years now.
And just on getting your background, and you've got kids at what age?
My daughter's 29 and my son's 27.
Right, and this is sister next to you.
This is my best friend.
Yeah, but who feels very unhappy about you being on your own.
She does, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
I do, because she deserves to have somebody in her life to share.
It makes you sad?
Yes, it does, very sad.
She hasn't got somebody?
Yeah,
Because you want to see her settle?
I do,
It's like having a choice.
I want to see her coming to visit me and my husband and my family, bringing a partner with her, so Pat doesn't feel like the odd one out.
And do you feel the odd one out?
I do, because there's a lot of family christenings, weddings, things like that, and I'm always on my own.
Right.
And as I'm getting older now, these family occasions, like Anne's 50th 3 weeks ago. Sorry. She's all right. She's joined the over 50s club now. She's with us.
But you feel alone.
I feel alone.
Even though you're with the family.
Lonely. I need a partner.
Yeah. And I'm asking why you can't find somebody, because I can't see why you can't find somebody, because you're, let's just using reasonably neutral terms like, well, my friend here is saying reasonably attractive, very attractive, all right? Yeah, I think so. And she's presentable, and she's thoughtful, she's got personality. Why are you having difficulty? Is it just that men are useless?
No, I wouldn't say that. I just haven't met the right person yet. I'm still looking.
Robert, but also, in this country, I mean, you're going to find out I run Elite Introductions, a dating agency. In this country, let me finish, in this country, we don't offer the processes to people to meet partners. It's a very difficult process. If your best friend came to you and said, I want to meet a nice guy, or you want your friend to meet somebody, what do you tell them to do? And if you want to buy or sell a house, subconsciously, go to an estate agent. If you're unemployed, need a job, go to recruitment consultancy. I want to remove all this goddamn stigma that's out there, because at the end of the day... Of course, because listen to Desmond's story. OK, it worked for him. It doesn't work for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, we need to put into this country a process that helps everybody. Look at the top row, Robert. There are some stunningly attractive ladies.
Oh, they're all with men.
Let me finish. No, it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter.
Oh, look at them all now. They're all sitting up straight now.
But there are some stunningly attractive ladies, and how are they going to meet a nice guy? And it's not
They're
easy.
married. They're married.
Oh, you're married.
They're all married.
Right.
Everyone.
This lady here, who is again an attractive lady, would like to meet somebody.
Oh, not all of you. Not all. Are you looking for fellas too?
Yes, right.
So some of them are looking for fellas. Well, he says his agency. He makes the analogy about the...
Honestly, at the end of the day, even today, there are people here who are going to connect. There's going to be chemistry here today. And Robert's show is going to actually help some people form a relationship.
Hopefully.
Now, it's whatever you do, whether it's going out to dinner, a social club, an introduction service, whatever you do, I still think this country should provide for people who are unattached a process which is logical, which is safe. I mean, at my company, we go to everybody's home. I said to you earlier, we go to everybody's home, we interview them to check out they are. They say they're not married. Yeah. And we do it very softly, very gently. And I care desperately about helping people.
No, I understand. Let me come back to you. Let me come back to you. Do they work then? He said, hang on a minute. I'll come to you in a minute. Hang on.
I answered the advert.
What, Elite?
Elite.
Right.
And I was impressed. Elite. They're calling themselves Elite. They do their job professionally.
Correct.
I phoned. I spoke to by a very nice lady. She said, I'll send out the brochure. The brochure came through. I read it. Well, I could go, as you say, you're setting a market for people like myself.
Correct.
When I'm going to buy a house, I'll go to the estate agent.
Correct.
I could come to your company and hopefully not
Which
me.
worked for Desmond.
Quite possibly. But let me tell you, the woman came to my house to give me my personal interview, to vet me, to see who I was and get an understanding of what I was looking for.
Correct.
She came into my flat and immediately she was looking around with a, council, is it? Well, it is.
You stopped saying correct.
Right?
No, carry on.
Okay. We went through the brochure and then it was the question of the price. And I hesitated. It's a lot of money. I wasn't sure. So she, well, you know. But no, I had it there, and again, you can't buy love, but the service. And then she said, obviously, I'm not sure we'd have anybody on our books suitable. You're not really our type of clientele.
Oh, no.
And I was
That's awful.
insulted, flabbergasted, and I showed her the door, and when I shut it, I thought, well, if she's got people like that on her books, I don't know that I want to meet them.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I've got my card here, and I'll happily give it to you. After the show, I'd like to know who you are.
You're going to take her to the Dorchester?
I'd like to know. let me finish. I'd like to know who you are, and I will speak to the lady concerned and find out her side of the story. Because in life, there's two sides to every story. Let me just say to you that people turn around and say, I don't like the agency because it turned me down. At the end of the day, what would you rather companies do? Would you rather we took the money off you and spent months fobbing you off because you didn't get the introductions? Let me finish.
Some don't take the money off.
No, some do, yes. But would you rather be honest and say to you, at the end of the day, we haven't got the number of introductions that would keep you happy.
Your brochure said they would try to help anyone in any position. It doesn't say that you need to...
Have we got a brochure? Have we got a brochure? Have you got one with you?
It didn't say I would need $1 million in the bank. It didn't say I had to have a Rolls Royce sitting out. Exactly. You're just saying I don't have to have that.
No, not at all.
But the airs and graces and the way she introduced it.
I'm in a room and the majority of the people here would qualify for elite introductions. We deal with professional and business people. It's our market. Yes, there's a fabulous company.
It's quite properly. There has to be horses for courses, of course. Do agencies work then? He's saying agencies work. Do they work?
Yes, they can work.
Of course they can.
But at the moment, what is happening, people are being exploited purely for the enrollment.
What's your agency? Partner to partner?
Desmond came from us. So we give a personal service. Loneliness is a very personal thing. I think
but none of these agencies...
No, I know. This is why
What's doing mean about all this, both of you? You know, you're going on like you're doing it, you know, to help it work. It's a business. You're in it for a business. You're not in it. You're not in it for... You're sitting there like, oh, we want to do this for you. We want to... You want our money. That's what you want.
Initially...
You want business.
Can you... Patrick, will you listen to me a second?
Yeah, go on.
At the age of 48, I lost my son, went through a divorce, and had an international kidnapper girl called Stephanie Slater. You might have heard of that, right? Yeah. I was divorced at the age of 48. And I looked at society and thought, how am I going to meet a nice lady? Yeah. I'm not unattractive. Yeah. And I could not find a process that would help me meet somebody. So I started Elite. When I die, and I'm going to pop my clogs at some point, I will personally be responsible for helping millions of people into happy relationships.
Yes.
Now, that's not money.
You're living
but you've made your living.
Do they work? Hang on, do they work?
Shouldn't I make money?
Hang on, my friend. Come on.
Sorry, mate. Additionally to what the young lady just said about the dating agency, I went to one last summer in Peterborough, okay? When I went to the place, I identified myself.
You went to see them?
I went to see an agency.
It's not yours.
No,
It's not yours.
Smile, please. I went to this agency in Peterborough. When I identified myself and told the people who I was, the next day she confronted me with, how much money do you make?
It's wrong.
What is your income?
Totally
yes,
wrong.
she did, honestly.
Totally wrong.
Let him finish.
The most embarrassing thing that really upset me was the height. She said, women that come here looking for their partners are 5'3" and above. I'm only 5'2", and I said, I'm sorry, love, but I can't help the way I'm 5'2". You know what I mean?
So what did she do?
And she said, well, I'm sorry. Well, we'll just keep you on file. Now, if you're going to run an agency, regardless of your height, that shouldn't have anything to do with whatsoever. Exactly. And then she wanted £500 a deposit. Yeah. And
you didn't use the agency?
No, I did not use the agency.
And are you still looking?
I'm still looking, believe it or not. I've lost my way.
You haven't seen anybody here that kind of...
Yes, I have seen
some. I don't even... You have? No, here in this audience?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Well, have you already chatted to them? Some young ladies, you noticed that? Young ladies, you haven't chatted to them yet?
Not at all.
But do you want me to introduce you?
Go on. Well, yes, it depends on if she accepts me, you know. I like very attractive women. I'm not going to bite my tongue. I like very attractive women.
Who is it? There's another one for the Dorchester here. Which one?
That's a young lady sitting over there in the green.
Which one? Where? Oh, at the end.
There's one sitting over there in the glasses.
She's married.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, listen, don't be... She's talking about you, my love, the 20-year-old. Yes. Are you footloose and fancy-free? Just say yes or no. She's got a partner. At the front.
Okay.
She's got a partner.
The young lady sitting down here, the one that spoke first.
Oh, Trisha. Trisha. Oh, well, okay. He's going to have to... I think we're going to have to talk to some of these youth 2 or 3. Trisha, don't look so startled. You've got a man there who wants to date with you. We'll talk to you in a minute. Just so we can be reassured. It can all end happily, can't it, when you're looking for somebody?
It can.
How old were you?
42.
And when did you meet?
4 years ago, wasn't it?
4 years ago, yes.
Yes. By chance. Well,
not
not
quite
a bit, no.
chance. No, a little bit of help.
Bill advertised.
Yeah.
And my letter to him, my reply, just turned up at the sort of at an opportune moment when he'd come out of a relationship. He looked at the phone number, because that's all I gave him, realised that it was 9 miles down the road. We got on the phone to each other. We were on the phone for over an hour. We met at a mutually, you know, sort of acceptable place, having told people in advance where we were going, both of us, you know, in case I was a...
Yeah. As it worked.
Yes. We've been married for 2.5 years.
We're running out of time. Don't give up hope and take care of yourselves.
If you'd like to join Robert in a programme about teenage fathers or another about looking for love when you're a single dad, call now on 0990 100 771. Are you a teenage father? Is your son or daughter a teenage parent? Was your father just a teenager when you were born? Secondly, are you a single father looking for love? Do your children make it harder for you to find love? Call too if you wouldn't go out with a single dad.
Imagine being unable to move for 2 weeks. On City Hospital at 10 o'clock this morning, we'll be meeting Francesca. She's been in track...
These toppings really are rather